Right on, folks. So I know I said we were moving on with some new material, but I want to pick up where I left off with we'll just change the theme. We're going to go with seek knowledge over vengeance. That's a phrase that I've learned to live by in my wiser years. And I definitely prefer to seek knowledge over vengeance. I don't want to propagate any animosity. I prefer to propagate overstanding for that matter. So this image I left off on the last video is the 9-candled menorah. I found that very intriguing. I had to go seek some knowledge as to what the difference between the 9 and the 7-candled menorah is. I recommend you do the same. The 9-candled menorah has the center candle is called the shamash. It is the servant or the helper. It's the meaning of the word shamash. That word brings to my mind the word ashamed. Shame. Ash. So I just find it interesting. These are supposed to be helpers. These are supposed to be servants. And they are indicating with some symbology in that room a particular flavor of servitude. We're going to really dial in on that temperance card and Captain America 3, the Civil War episode of the Avengers, and its significance in relation to our previous commandeer in chief, Trump. So a lot of significance. This is going to be a hard one, real dense information. I might be kind of obtuse and vague just for the sake of lack of time. So one of his catchphrases through his campaign was "build the wall." And when you look at this card, first let's just get this out of the way. Temperance, if you just move the R in that word, phonetically you will get Trump Pence. Temperance, Trump Pence. Again, take that for what it's worth. It's the 14th card. 14th card, Civil War, gave us the 14th Amendment. I'm going to bring it in a little closer. So his catchphrase, his slogan was "Build the Wall." Here, 14th card, 14th Amendment. Build the wall. Water, air, land. W-A-L. That's in English, from left to right. But if you go in the opposite direction, land, air, water, that's law. Build the law. And I got a feeling a lot of you are going to know what I mean. I'm going to show you something in Google Translate here. And I am being obtuse and obscure on purpose. So this is the word law in English. And its Hebrew transition is some word I can't pronounce, but that sure looks like the word pin. Pin, mightier than the sword. PIM Laboratories. And here you might be able to see it. Statute, rule, ordinance. So things are not made into law until they are put to pen. I find that highly significant. I think that our language is not as, how do I say this, independent of one another as we might think at first. Here are some definitions of the word Trump. This is from Webster's New Collection Dictionary from 1961. These are the definitions when JFK came into office. A corruption of the word triumph. It's an abbreviation of triumph. It's cut short. It's a card playing is Trump. It's definitely a tarot reference, the entire name. The suit itself, which he's definitely a lot of lawsuits, a lot of litigation being handled under his regime. To nonplus, as in piss people off, or to go against them. To devise unfairly, to cheat was another definition. And here's a very I mean, that's pretty provocative. A trump is a Jewish harp. So he announced his day for his intention to run for president on 5/16/15, which lands under the judgment card, the fifth month, Taurus. And there's a trumpet. Pretty interesting. Maybe a little more than just interesting. And 356 days later, they released the Captain America 3, Civil War. 3, there's our 5/6. That's the minor arcana. And here, look at that date, 5/16 of 2015. Look at the date that Civil War came out. 5/6 of 16. 356 days later. They are really pointing at the minor arcana. And just a quick reminder, that's a menorah. Minor arcana. Menorah. Just pointing it out. They're talking about the numbered people. Those who are numbered. And those who are numbered are not royalty. They're not of the royal house. They're not from the above world. Here are some definitions of temperance. Temperance is one of the cardinal virtues. And the card falls right here on one of the cardinal cross of the zodiac. That's the vertical and the horizontal line, and that is a cardinal boundary of the zodiac. North, south, east, west. It's cardinal. And that's one of the cardinal virtues is temperance. Definition is calmness and self-control. Abstinence from intoxicants. Notice she's holding a medicine bowl. You see that medicine bowl there? And there's definitely some toxic material that was released on the population under his watch. So up here, I just wanted to point out, it's the 14th card. The Civil War brought on the 13th and 14th Amendment, but it was there after the Civil War, after they changed the term slave to the term criminal. And then they dished out the 14th Amendment, and we were numbered. The people became numbered. We became the minora, the minor arcana. And the minor arcana is 56 cards, and that is the release date of Temperance, 5/6, of the minor arcana. And the minor arcana consists of 14 cards in 4 different elemental categories: fire, land, air, and water. Flaw. The minor arcana is the population of those who are flawed. The word law is land, air, and water. And it is humanity that brings the fire into the law. So these are some things to think about. I'm not going to go into what I believe they mean, but I got a feeling a lot of people will get a very good idea. Oh, and here's one more point. So yeah, WAL, water, air, land, is the wall, build the wall. And in reverse, it's land, air, water. That's the law. And that tripartite crown, that is something to think about. Look in the background between the mountains in the valley. There is the Triple Crown, which some would say that's what the Pope wears. Some would say that Christ was the King of Kings. Ralph Ellis has some very interesting books pointing out that his birth line may have been a perfect convergence of Roman, Persian, and Egyptian bloodlines. So that leads into the Priory of Zion, I think you folks know where I'm going with all that. You can infer the rest from there. Much love, everybody. Stay strong.